Hey, Tracy here. Thanks for joining me today. So I know I've not posted any videos in a while, and that's everything went retrograde. I redid and took a look at what I wanted to do, and I didn't really resonate with anything that I was posting, and it didn't feel true, and it wasn't the path I wanted to take. So what I'm going to start doing is posting things that are more uplifting, that are astrology focused, and things that are going to be about helping you find your power and light and take back your sovereignty within the framework of everything that is going on. I feel that I want to do that. And even if no one wants to listen, I feel the call to put it out there. So I'm going to put it out there, but I hope people are attracted to what I have to say and maybe want to learn how to navigate the sovereignty with their own lives. But anyway, so as I mentioned, this channel is going to start becoming a little bit more teaching of astrology, learning how to look at things in maybe a broader perspective. I'm very I'm Aquarian Sun, Aquarian South Node. I've done the Aquarian thing for many lifetimes, so I'm very good at detaching and taking a look at the broader picture and looking at things in a different way than maybe people have looked at in the past and help, I really want to help people understand how to reframe things and get out of the weeds of where they may currently be to claim back their sovereignty. Um, Today, I want to talk about a little bit, and I'm very spiritual, so it's not going to be astrology from just a technical point. I want to really, there's going to be a lot of mystical, spiritual things that are kind of, um, you know, peppered in throughout the videos. Um, and I don't like a lot of what's out there because it's based on clicks and, you know, trying to build up stuff. And I just need to do something that's kind of heart-centered and whatever I can do to serve you. So we are going to talk about a little bit about how I have viewed astrology to work within the framework of the universe and our lives. And um, when we choose to incarnate in each lifetime, we are coming for different things, different lessons, different evolutionary growths. Maybe we're signing up for, you know, work on Earth in different ways. Maybe we've had 50 past lives where we cannot get past this one evolutionary stepping stone, and we're really trying to take the energies and um, have them not necessarily challenge us, but take different energies and put them within a framework that help us learn those lessons and evolve past where we've been. So, say in past lives you have given your power away to your family and you have always just been the dutiful son, daughter, and you do what you're supposed to and you don't make waves, and it makes you miserable because you feel like you're supposed to move over here and go explore this, or maybe you've fallen in love with someone that's taboo, and I'm talking again more past lives, and you know and you never have stepped into your sovereignty as your own unique soul. And so say you've dealt with this and you've had different past lives where you've taken a look and you keep trying, you're going to keep trying, and your soul is going to make plans that kind of keep pushing that until you finally have that consciousness and break free from it and move past it. Um, so when we are planning our lives as souls, that's basically the framework. What do we want to come down? Were we asked to come down to help with something? Are we trying to move within a certain evolutionary goal? And from there we get with our soul group, because we don't have just one soulmate. We don't have you know, a partner that's our one true love, or things like that. We really have a soul group that incarnates with us to challenge each other in each lifetime. So, um, some of, that kid in elementary school that picked on you for, 5 years while you're in elementary school could be your soulmate to help you find that strength to evolve and grow past that. And again, we know some people don't move past it, and they really struggle. And we know some people it makes them stronger. Um, then, we can have a soulmate marriage that is karmic to help us move past our karma. Um, and it can be very contentious and challenging. And I speak from experience, but it was my best lesson in this lifetime, and I've learned a lot about myself. Um, but yeah, so that horrible, horrible ex, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse could be a soulmate to help you challenge and do the evolutionary work you agreed to sign up for in this lifetime. So the planets, when we decide to be born, we pick the time and the place that serves our growth and the parents. It's typically the mother. Um, Not always, but it's typically we choose the life based on our mother in each lifetime. And, you could have a horrible mother, um, that or they could seem horrible or abusive. And I'm not saying you signed up for that, and I'll get to that in a minute, but the astrology and energies are not, they're not specific. We have we're sovereign beings with free will. So, say you chose this mom for this lesson. Well, she's not on her own path and lesson, so it messed up yours. That can happen. Astrology is just the framework that gives the possibilities, and it's our job to work with those energies, learn those energies, and become conscious of those energies so that we can move more into the light part of those energies and not stay in the shadow part of those energies. So when we come down and we're born, we have I've just got Julia Roberts' chart up for, I'm not going to go over her chart, but I'm just going to use it as um, let me see which one. Okay. Just to kind of walk us through how a chart looks. So when Julia Roberts came into her incarnation, the planets were here. So this is how her specific energies in this lifetime work out. And this is what she's working with, within the framework of her lifetime, and how she's evolving and growing, um, through everything. And I will do chart. We'll walk through charts at a different video, but I wanted you to see. So when she came down, this was that, and these are how she's working within the energies and the framework of her life. And challenges will arise in her life based on this setup. And then from there, we have progressions and so on and so on. And that's a whole nother thing. So her sun is in Scorpio. So that is her ego, who she thinks she is. Her moon is in Leo, who she feels, what provides her emotional fulfillment. And her ascendant is in Cancer. So she looks at the world through a Cancerian lens, and when she knows, and when she meets people, um, and they know her on, that's how she appears at first glance, is through through a Cancer lens. So this is the framework of what she evolutionary came down to work with in this lifetime. Um, it's up to her whether she does the lessons of this life the way her soul set it up or not. And throughout life, we have transits and again the progressions of our natal chart that hit certain points that move through to really kind of challenge us to evolve and move past. I'm sure you've had things in your own life that kind of come out and hit that. Um, Something kind of come out of the blue. Why is this happening to me? Why is this coming up now? It could easily be a transit or something that's really, I know, looking at my own chart, how things played out. You can see the progressions of the transits and my natal chart of how things happen and what I was undergoing at the time that brought in certain things for me to address. And again, it's up to us whether we address it. We can sit and live a life where we are mindless and are doing the bare minimum stuff, and we keep attracting the same horrible relationships and the same horrible jobs, and we're not doing anything, and we're just kind of muddling through each day. Or we're taking a conscious look at what can I do to address why I keep attracting these horrible guys or gals in my life, and try, or whatever it is, and work within that. And then we also have our north nodes and our south nodes. So our south node is um, it's what it represents, like a past life, what we were, energies that we were proficient in, and we didn't quite maybe move through in a past life. I know in my own chart, I have some skip steps that are evident in my chart that I've got to work through in this life. And my nodes are at 29 degrees, meaning my soul's ready to learn this lesson, and let's get through it. Um, so it's been a constant push for my growth and awareness in this lifetime. And then her north node is in Aries. So that's the energy that she is learning to work towards in this lifetime. Um, Aries is the warrior, it's courageous. But there's also shadow sides to each sign. With Aries, it's angry, and it can be violent and volatile, and so we have to make the conscious choice. Do we want to work within that framework of the shadow or the light? And of course, we're human. Everybody's going to at some point display both. There's sometimes, I'm sure Julia Roberts has been angry. 10th house is your at your highest, um, the highest, most prominent part of her chart. I'm sure she's been angry in public related toward her purpose. And um, then other times she's probably done a lot of people pleasing within the fourth in her home, things like that. So she's learning how to move out of that Libra to help her work towards that north node in Aries. So that's basically how astrology works. And so if you ever um, go to a uh, astrologer for example, that I don't want to see, I don't want to share anymore. Okay. If you ever say you went to an astrologer and they said, "Oh, well, this is for sure going to happen to you," please run far away, because that takes away your sovereignty um, as a soul and a independent being, uh, because the charts just tell us the potentials for the energies and how they may manifest outwardly. But we Um, but we have the capability to choose what we want to do. Every day is a new action, a new choice, new places to go. So, example, if you went to an astrologer, it should be someone that says, well, this is, you know, it could manifest in these different ways. Here are some challenges with these placements. You're trying to work within those frameworks. And an astrologer can take a look, well, what challenges have you had in these areas? Because the houses of the chart, tell us about the areas of life where things happen. And I guess I should probably go back and share. There we go. So, like as I mentioned, the houses, the the planets um, are specific to types of energies, and the signs tell us where those energies are playing out. So, her sun is in the Scorpio, so her sun takes on a scorpionic tint in the fourth house, and that's where it takes place. And I'll talk about those in more subsequent videos. But that's what astrology is. It's just the natal chart tells us, and to have the natal chart looked at, you would need your obviously your birth date, your time of birth, and your place of birth, and then it creates the birth chart, and from there you can take a look at, well, what energies are I'm working with in this lifetime and how can I best. And from there, it's really interesting to look at like how your personal chart fits in with your family's chart, in the lineage, and what you may be working on evolving out of in each lineage. For example, my dad and I have a birthday, even though his son is 1 degree past mine. And his dad had he was born the day after but my dad and his dad had their son at the same degrees. So we have specific lineage that we're working towards moving out of. And then my son, one of my sons, he was born around that same time, and he ended up coming at the same same sun sign, but at the early degree. So I look at, we broke the pattern. I was able to change out of that lineage and heal and confront some of what we kept passing down. So he didn't have to keep being born. So he was able to still be a part of that Aquarian lens, but he's not beholden to what we could not move out of. And so that's basically what astrology is. And from there, it can be a lifetime learning, and you're still scratching the surface. It goes on and on and on. But yes, it just tells the basic framework of the energies that are currently playing out and what played out when you were born that will continue to arise throughout your life, and affect you, and how you can grow and evolve in your lifetime, what ease and flow, times that may be a little bit easier, times that may be a little bit more challenging, and just give you a look at things like that. So I find it very fascinating. And we're going to start going through the charts and talking a little bit more about how they play out. And it's as much for me as it is for y'all, because it's um, again, part of my own journey is feeling comfortable to express things I learn, because I've got a Virgo, uh, 3 planet all in retrograde stellium, which means I internalize all that perfectionist, detailed energy, and I want things to be perfect before I share it. So I'm really learning how to express that, and I want to mainly help people find their light and their power and find my own. So we'll be going through the charts. I'll talk about different aspects of charts, helping you walk through it. If you have questions and would like me to one-on-one, you know, answer any questions about your chart, if you would like me to do a segment on your chart, if you're comfortable with that, um, if you have questions about what you're going through, please let me know. But yeah, the new goal with the channel is to help people find their light and reclaim their sovereignty, because too often we're, scrolling on media, people watch the news, people are worried about what's over there. But with what is coming with the energies this year, it's really going to be important to learn to listen to our inner guidance and our voice, um, and cut out the noise outwardly and really listen to what feels right within our soul. There's so many people on, and I don't want to disparage anyone, but I find it very hard. Like I hate TikTok. I won't ever go on TikTok. I won't ever download that. That entire thing feels dense and heavy and gross, and energetically, it is not for me. If that resonates with you, more power to you. Um, but a lot of the people that post on there seem very superficial, and I don't want to be superficial. It's important on a value-based soul level for me to be truthful and honest, and I'm certainly not perfect, and I'm still working through a bunch of stuff in my own life and my own chart that I am working to grow towards. So it's really important for me to this channel be a place where we can, I can talk about astrology and how to help people, and teach a little bit about how that can help you empower and make better decisions in your own life. And um, I will, as I mentioned, talk about things beyond, take a look at what's going on, how we can maybe take a step back and look at things going on collectively, and be look at it less from a place of fear, and kind of look at what's coming, and turning off some of that noise so we can more easier hear our soul speak to us and guide us through the upcoming changes, in the shift of consciousness that is occurring. So I'll stop there because I'll ramble on about astrology all day. But yeah, so that's kind of where how astrology works into the framework of our life. If you have questions about your chart, if you would like me to discuss your chart, if you are a beginner astrologer and understand some basics and you have a question, I'll be happy to take a look and help you in any way, and we'll do the best I can. And thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.